Liara was checking out the community art fair, with stalls full of dope paintings, sculptures, and crafts that were a straight fire. Each booth was like a little glimpse into people's hopes and dreams, and she vibed with every artist she walked by. Her own dreams were floating around like the colorful scarves she was rocking, whispering about success and getting noticed. The smell of fresh paint and the sound of people cracking up got stronger as she got closer to the center of the fair, where a tall, sharp-dressed dude with slicked back hair was holding court. His deep green eyes scanned the crowd, and when they locked onto her, she felt a mix of excitement and nerves. Rian had a presence that was hard to ignore, and when he started talking, his words were as smooth as the silver watch on his wrist.
"Your sketches are sick,"
he said, his voice low and real. Liara blushed, holding onto her well-loved sketchbook.
"You've got a killer eye for design. Ever thought about making big moves with your art?"
She was totally freaking out as he talked about dreams she had barely even admitted to herself. Like, success? Making a legit career out of art? That felt like light years away for someone like her. But then there was Rian, giving her a chance with this new art brand he was starting. He was so sure of himself, so visionary. All she could manage was a shy nod and whisper of a response. Their friendship like totally blossomed from that random meet-up, you know? They bonded over their mutual hustle and Ryan's like totally real curiosity about her work. He persuaded her to let him rock her designs, promising her a piece of the action when his brand blew up.
"It's all about the promo,"
he'd say with a cheeky grin, showing off those pearly whites. And so, Liara let her creativity shine under his brand, trusting him as solid as the core of their friendship. But as time went on, she started to pick up on something weird. Her super cool designs that she worked so hard on were showing up in art galleries all over town. But get this, they were being credited to Rian. Every time she mentioned it, he just brushed it off, saying she was totally overthinking it. He claimed it was just a tactics, a move to get her art more attention. But she couldn't shake this feeling of doubt. Was she just a piece in his little game? Or was she the grand prize he was after this whole time? One night, as the shadows got longer and the fair's lights started turning on, Liara got too curious to ignore it. She tracked down her stolen ideas to the fanciest art gallery opening in town, feeling her heart beat faster than the flashing lights on the walls. Rian was there, surrounded by investors, his laughter filling the room like the sound of breaking glass. And then she overheard his voice, casually making fun of her trust like it was nothing. The air got heavy with the weight of his betrayal, and she realized that all along, she had just been a pawn in his journey to success. She was hella mad, more than ever. But instead of going off on him right then, Liara bounced, her thoughts going crazy. If she couldn't clap back, she was gonna do it her way, through art. Her paintbrush was gonna be her weapon, and her canvas, the place to serve up some realness. In her studio, she straight up channeled all that hurt into her last heart piece, a painting so detailed, so packed with shitty symbolism that only the ones in the loop could really grasp it. Every brush stroke was like her way of declaring war on the dude who crushed her hopes. Days turned into weeks as Liara hustled hard on her grind. The painting kept getting more fire, more lit, with each layer she added. It was low-key screaming without making a sound, a flex that spilled tea on deception and thievery. But it was also a bold statement of her own value, a straight-up testament to the art that got snatched from her. On the night of the big reveal, she was serving looks in all black, with her hair in a fierce ponytail that matched her vibes. She strutted into Ryan's art show like she owned the place, knowing she was about to spill some tea. The room was lit with peeps talking excitedly, ready to see what this young genius had up her sleeve. When Rian spotted her, you could tell he was shook, getting low-key worried.
"Liara. Babe,"
he said, forcing a smile.
"Oh, what a plot twist."
"You ain't the only one who can play games,"
she shot back, her voice chill.
"I've been cooking up something extra just for you."
She gave him the painting, all swaddled up in a velvet cloth. The vibes were so intense as he unwrapped it, exposing the super detailed array of symbols that totally exposed his betrayal. Rian was shook for a sec, his eyes scanning over the art as he processed the full gravity of her call-out. And then, with a sly look, he faced the crew watching.
"That's so fire,"
he said, his voice loud over the whispers.
It's titled Collab Decep.
But Liara totally peeped that. She was like,
No, it's actually called The Thief's Reflection. Each symbol here shows how many times you've ripped off my stuff and claimed it as yours.
The vibes in the room got mad intense as the art critics and investors were all up close, analyzing the painting. Rian was frantically looking around for a way out, but Liara had created her own way out, straight into the art world that had rejected her.
The teal feather, symbolizes the initial sketch you did.
She started, pointing to a cute feather tucked away in the back.
The silver chain is from the night you promised we'd be partners. And that busted watch face in the middle? That's when I knew it was time to speak my truth.
The crowd was shook while the critics were like, yeah, true, and whispers turned into loud accusations. Ryan's fake smile faded, showing a sneer like a predator that's been found out.
You're just jelly, bro.
He snapped.
I made your designs poppin'.
Poppin'?
Liara's voice was cold.
Or did you just boost yourself up by dragging me down?
The critics and investors were totally spilling the tea, all focused on Rian, who was low-key freaking out in the spotlight. Liara knew she had them wrapped around her finger, she had crafted the story she wanted them to believe. And as she walked away from their falling out friendship, she felt the beginning of a new era in her life. An era where she was the one in control, the creative genius, and the main character. But Rian wasn't about to just peace out quietly.
Bruh, this is whack.
He shouted, his face looking hella pissed.
Liara, chill. I was just doing what's best for the brand, okay?
His tone started getting louder, showing how shook he really was behind that calm facade. Liara straight up owned him, like she was a boss babe with a vibe of total determination.
The only thing worth it about this was the life lesson.
She spilled, her words filling up the whole room.
I believed in you, Rian. I put my heart and soul into this. And you just backstabbed me with lies.
The peeps were dead quiet, totally hooked on what was going down. It was like you could smell the drama in the air. Ryan's green eyes were locked onto hers, hoping to see a spark of the girl who used to admire him. But all he saw was the reflection of a woman who had finally spoken up.
Time controlling everything is done.
She snapped, her words cutting deep.
I'm gonna be my own boss now, and I'll expose the real genius behind these creations.
Liara just ghosted Rian and their failed partnership. She strutted out of the gallery with confidence, leaving the painting to spill the tea behind her. The crowd started clapping and it was over for Rian, his objections were drowned out. The art fair was shutting down, the lights getting all low-key as the stall holders packed up their leftover dreams. But for Liara, the night was just getting started. She grabbed her sketchbook, bouncing off into the darkness, her heart just full of hope and straight-up rage. She was gonna use both to drive her hustle, to create her own vibe, one that wasn't all about faking or stealing. The tea in the art world was spicy AF, drama spreading like wildfire. But Liara'd guff about their validation. She had her art and her integrity. That's all she needed. In the days and weeks that came after, the drama got bigger and bigger, with artists spilling tea about Ryan's lies. His whole gig fell apart, leaving him with just his snazzy hair and a fancy watch that ain't show off his riches no more. But Liara? Her grind went off. The artwork she made out of rage blew up as a sign of her strength, lighting the way for other young artists. The art fair was straight up lit. She totally slayed and called out the hater in the crew, regaining her spot in the world she vibed with. Painting till the crack of dawn with her squad, Liara knew she was boss and wouldn't let anyone crush her dreams ever again.